Yo, what's up people, it's your boy P, also known as CAPTAINP67. We're here today for a requested video from the community. So, as you all probably know, my Rune Master's been popping off, 1500 corruption solo, proving it live on stream, beating such a high corruption, and also beating every single boss at a level 100, just to prove it. And on top of that, I've been made a warpath builder in 24 hours. I posted 3 videos, and literally every video is almost on 1,000 views within a day, so it's crazy. And at the same time, everyone knows I do a lot for the community. Right now it's 5:33 in the morning. I've been carrying the community and people on stream for over 9 hours now. And I was going to get to this video, but I'm just doing so much, everything. So without further ado, we're going to be doing a forging build video. So a lot of people ask me to do a very basic version so they can fully understand that. So I'll throw in everything I can. So I'll start off for the basic beginners to start off with. Then I'll go in for some more advanced kind of tech, and if I have missed anything, just join the stream. The links will be in the description below to my Twitch channel. I stream every single day. I normally say 6 to 8 hours, but it's coming up to 10 hours now on stream. So yeah, 6 to 9 to 10 hours every single day, helping the community, helping people, carrying people. I just posted a video yesterday, 1,515 corruption. I was carrying 2 people on that on the stream live as well, so I popped off with that. But that's what I do. But yeah, without further ado, we'll get into a forging build real quick. So I'll cover everything as quick as I can, but make sure it's understandable. And if I have missed anything per se at the time, just join the stream and I'll talk you through it. But I'm going to go through every single rune and every single node for you. So let's get to it, folks. So first and foremost, just press F on your keyboard to bring up the forge itself. Now what I'll do is I'll remove this as well, so you can see the full forging without seeing the camera as an obstruction, but you can still hear the audio. So that's a clean slate for you. I was just checked out YouTube. I was actually watching your God the Void earlier. Let's go. But yeah, dude, we're banging out with those as well. But yeah, folks, so first and foremost, press F on the keyboard and go over to any exalted item, which is a purple items, yellow items, or blue, whatever you want to forge or craft. Let's just say, argument's sake, we'll take this one over here. Drag and drop it to your crafting area, or crafting table. And first thing you want to look for, just look out for forging potential. So as long as you have forging potential, that means you can craft or change or modify anything in there. If there is 0 forging potential, there's nothing you can do with it. And what you can simply do is just click on this and go to shatter. If you shatter it, you will get some of the shards. There are other tips and tricks I can show you to go through. For example, just use this as a base guide. Every single rune will tell you exactly what it does. So at your own pace, if you want to, you can just read it in your own time, and it tells you what it does anyway. So it's kind of common sense, but if it still is confusing, just ask me or whatever. So first and foremost, you can just shatter it like I said with this one. However, if you want to re-roll the values of affixes, you can use this, and it will change the values. So say for example, we've got a T7 roll here, which is pretty dope. But if I wanted to say go for slightly higher, or wanted to get the rest of these higher to match, have the perfect roll, you could risk it with a gamble of this. So some of the stats will vary, but I've used it before on a certain item and it worked perfect on one of my items, so that's definitely worth looking at if you want to re-roll it. It will take forging though again, so make sure you got forging potential. If you don't have it, it will kind of ruin your roll, so just be careful and mindful of that. So always look out for forging potential and what you have available. Third one is, so first one, runes of shattering we covered. We've covered the rune refinement, which I've just explained. But if you want to see me trial and test it on stream, we can do that as well at any point. So we can do that. Now, this is another one, rune removal, which is pretty dope. If you get the perfect exalted item, however, there's literally one stat you just want to remove, you can risk it with this. I've done it several times. It's worked perfect for me. However, you can brick your item as well. So with this one alone, it removes a random affix. So say, for example, I've got a T7, which you can only get from the drop. So I got hella lucky with this anyway, and that's pretty dope to get that. But if I was to use that red one right now, it might literally remove my best stat, and it will kind of brick the item. But if you're feeling lucky, you could just remove another item of another item. So it's up to you, but it is risky. So as a heads up, it's worth it. But like I said, the risk is there, but no risk, no reward, as you know. And then the next one is rune of discovery. So again, if you've got something empty on a exalted that you want to fit in, you could just literally just click on this one. It'll add an empty slot in there. However, if you read it, it has an increased chance of rolling rarer affixes, so you can get rarer drops with this. So if you have a blank item and you want to fill it with anything random, you can just use this. It'll give you a better chance of getting something better for your forging, so it'll give you more value for your buck basically. And then we have runes of shaping as well, which again can just re-roll all the implicit itself. So it'll just re-roll everything, so you'll just get random stats. I wouldn't always recommend this one, but if you want to just try it out for a bit of fun, you can. And then this one is runes of ascendance. I'll save some of the viewers hundreds of hours by doing this, because if you're looking for a particular item, for example, let's just drop this out and let's see if I can just go over to here. I'll just get a quick runes of ascendance for you. So walk over to the gambler and just buy something cheap, whatever you need. So if it's an offhand, catalyst, whatever you need, just buy anything that you need. Let's just say, for example, we take a relic. We buy one relic, pow, it goes into my stash itself per se, my inventory, hit F on the keyboard to bring the forging back up, drag and drop your item over here, and there you go. Just use runes of ascendance and just hit it once and then ascend. So it'll tell you here, so you get prompted before you do anything, and then pow, there you go. I got a Bloodkeeper's Nest. So if you haven't got this unique, obviously keep it. It's pretty cool, but it does get you some random stuff. So you can get Herald of the Scurry, which a lot of people look for, and there are some random stuff that people look for you can get. And the dope thing about it is you can actually get LP as well. So I'm currently using this with the T7, but I did actually get hella lucky with a Runes of Ascenders. I got an LP3, which I was using as well. So it's super dope. Now we've got, let me just get another item, for example. So I got a lot of god tier loot, to be honest. Like a lot of T7s, T6s, doubles as well. Next part would be is the runes of creation. Now, for example, if you know about legendary potential and rolling items, you can roll legendary potential with the items. Say, for example, if you get the perfect legendary potential piece, or say if you get two of those, but you only got one exalted, for example, perfect exalted, and as long as you have one forging potential or some forging potential, you can use runes of creation. So if I was to fill in this stat and roll the perfect dagger, and I wanted two of them, maybe you want to try one on your build, but then maybe you want to roll one with 2 LP, 3 LP and risk it. You can literally hit Rune of Creation, which will duplicate your item. So as long as you click this item will turn into 2. As soon as you click this, you got 1 up here and you can drag and drop it. I'll just show you actually, just so you kind of know. So say for example, I don't really care about this piece here, but say for example, we want to duplicate this for whatever reason. We just hit this, duplicate, pow, done. So here's my duplicate now. Like I said, drag and drop it, and there's the original. And then you got 2 chances of a perfect exalted. So once you roll the perfect exalted, if you got a bit of forging potential left, just duplicate it so you're perfectly set to go. Now the last one is runes of research. So if you get an experimental gear, so for example, you go to the Exile Mage and you whoop him, and you get some dope ass experimental gear. So I'll quickly just grab, I've literally got like 131 stash tabs, so we've got a lot of loot, we're good. And we go somewhere around here, exalted, oh, it's experimental, we'll hit one of these. So say for example, we got this, take this over, and I'll show you the same thing. So again, F on the keyboard to bring that over, drag and drop, pow. And if you can see here, it says experimental. So this is what you call experimental items, and you get these from the Exile Mage. On these, to guarantee to get 5 skills, which is a common question I had on the stream every day, you just hit this. So runes of research, it seals an experimental affix on the item. So pow, hit that, and pow, done. Didn't cost me anything, and I've guaranteed got 5 skills now. And that's why the experimental Exile Mage's loot is so good. And then you just fill in what you want, and it will always come off the prefix, which is even more godly. So most of them will come with this side. So if you're not sure how things work, prefixes on the left, 2 prefixes and 2 suffixes. Every item has 2 or 2 to start off with. However, like I said, experimental, you can have 5 to begin with by doing that method there. I don't really care about this, I don't want it. So like I said, just shatter and keep that as well. So anytime you get any dud items, don't throw them away or sell them. I've got 131 stash tabs just from playing the game. I never farmed for gold or tried to get gold or try and get that many stash tabs. I just played, had fun, and I got enough gold. But I always want to shatter. Once you shatter, another tip, you'll get all the shards. So make sure you shatter everything that you don't need, and make sure you get the shards. And then when you get to endgame or true endgame, where you want to build the most godly builds, you won't have any sort of issues with any shards, and you'll just be stacked. And you can view your materials over here. So I'm hella stacked with everything. I'm Gucci, Felucci, Penatucci. So you can check that way as well. Now, one thing I want to go over as well, very important. Let's just say we put this in here as well. We've covered all the runes for you. So I've made it simple that we covered the runes. And again, you can read it yourself if you're still not sure. or I can help you test it live on stream. Another important thing is the glyphs. Before you do any forging whatsoever, you always want to put this in, which is your glyph of hope. So when you use a glyph of hope, it kind of tells you the same thing. You have a 25% chance not to like do anything on the item. Now, as you saw earlier, I basically with these two, because I duplicated them, the forging potential is 0, so I can't do anything with these. However, if I use a different item, let's just randomly grab these. If I want to add on any more skills, another suffix because it's available, as long as I have this on, I've got 25% chance not to lose any forging potential. So that covers that. You can also use the Glyph of Chaos. So again, this is another one as well. It modifies the outcome of a craft when upgrading an affix. So it randomly changes the upgraded affix to a different one that can spawn onto an item type. So again, you can have a little mess around with these extra ones if you got these to just have some fun and try them out for yourself. And then we got Glyph of Order, same thing. So it modifies the outcome of a craft when upgrading an affix. So it modifies it per se at the time. Now another one you can use as well. This one is used a lot. So if it's, for example, I showed you the experimental gear, which I shattered already. But you're not going to get experimental on every gear. So say for example you want to seal something, you could use this on a prefix or a suffix, which is super dope. This one's very important, but you always want to seal something at around 2. You can try and seal it at 1, you can do it at 1, which is fine normally, but it's normally hard to seal when you get to 3 or 4. So you always want to seal it about 2. The reason for sealing at 2, you're going to get the tier 2 stats rather than this tier 1. But if I go to try and seal this, I've got the chance of getting it. It's not always guaranteed, but if I click on it, see, I didn't seal it. So I basically, now it's kind of locked, and you can keep doing this. But look, I just sealed a tier 4. So it might seem like it's worth it for some it might not. But I've used a bit of forging potential, but I did get hella lucky there. But you can seal higher than tier 2s and tier 3s. But whenever you get to tier 2 or tier 3, it gets a bit more difficult the higher you go on your tier to seal it. So again, it's just a bit of a gamble, a bit of a risk for you. And then obviously the last one, same thing. You could use this to change this for experimental gear. So where I shattered the other experimental item, with this glyph alone, you can kind of make a normal item into experimental as well. But again, you can just put it on, mess with it. These are more difficult to get per se. But again, you can just experiment and have fun with it. But yeah, there you go, folks. I've kind of shown like some tips and tricks. I've covered all the forging itself. So just to backtrack, just to make it simple, make sure you have forging potential, number 1. As long as you got forging potential, you can forge and craft and change items around. Number 2, always just look what you're doing before you do it. So if you're not sure, just hover over it, take your time. Don't rush anything, because you will like kind of feel bad if you brick anything or mess an item up. I've done it plenty of times, I'm sure everybody has. But yeah, just take your time, whatever you're not sure of, go over it. And then just go over it here as well. But basically, you want to be using mainly this. You want to mainly be using your runes mainly, because you don't want to waste these up here. Because every time you use one of these instead of a rune to modify or craft your gear, you're going to be losing forging potential every time. But you always want to keep this as a must. This is like mandatory, so you don't lose any forging potential. So that way you can craft like the perfect items. And I mean, this on this, we got tier 7 here, tier 5, 4, 5 and a 1. So you want to be doing that to get better rolls in your items per se. I think this is another tier 6. Yeah, we got a couple of mix in there and a couple of those. Yeah, so that's the way to do it, folks. That is forging for you. There's obviously many ways to do it, and everyone plays their own way. But just make sure you follow those guidelines. Number 1, make sure you have forging potential. Number 2, make sure you keep the glyph of hope always as best as you can. Number 3, if you're not sure about anything, just check a guide or use this as a reference guide, or just join the stream, I'll help you. And then number 4, you know about Runes of Ascendance now. So if you have been farming for days, that's something that's kind of frustrating you, just use your Runes of Ascendance. It normally gets people stuff. I had one of my viewers, I got him something he wanted in 20 minutes, which took him 3 days. He was so grateful, so that helps out as well. And again, just have a little mess around yourself. Don't be scared to brick items, have fun. Like I said, I don't really care about this, so I'm just going to shatter it because I don't care. But yeah, more shards for me, win-win. And that's forging covered for you, folks. So yeah, that's the main base guide for you. I'll pop this down here as well, and we'll cover that as well. So yeah, there you go. Links will be in the description below. If you want any more further help, I stream live on Twitch every single day, helping people, like I said, 6 to 9 hours, 10 hours, 11 hours sometimes, and I've been doing that over 5 months. YouTube videos every day. But that is the forging covered for you. I've covered the basics, I've covered more advanced guides. But most of all, just have fun, play how you want to play. Everyone plays different. Make sure it suits you and your play style, how you play in general. And if you need anything else from me, just let me know. So yeah, Twitch, I'm live every day on Twitch, every single day. YouTube, I make videos every day, and links will be in the description below for you. But thanks for the time. Wherever you are, have a good morning, have a good night, have a good evening. I will catch you folks in the next one. Take it easy, and peace out.